Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pennies to Pounds podcast with your host Kia. And this is a podcast where we aim to dispel your myths, simplify difficult financial jargon, and rectify your own personal problems. Welcome back to another amazing episode. If you're with us last week, then you'll know we spoke about all things pensions. Not usually an interesting topic, but we made it fun. So if you are a freelancer or a woman or someone just interested in pensions and understanding yours better, then I would highly encourage you after this episode to go back and have a listen to this. But today, we've got a banger. If you are looking to generate some extra income, and that is a topic that's been going on, I think, especially since the pandemic. We've been talking about additional streams of income, building up side hustles, and all of the above. If that is you, then you've come to the right episode, and we have got an amazing guest to help us demystify this and give us more of an insight into side hustles. So, without further ado, guest, who are you?
Hello, thanks for having me. My name's Elvire, aka SaveWithElvs, and I share money saving tips on social media as well as side hustles. I'm also a dance teacher, so I run a dance company, and also I am the ultimate side hustler.
You are self-proclaimed ultimate side hustler. Now, before we get too far into it, Elvie, what exactly is a side hustle? What would you define a side hustle as?
A side hustle, I would say, is just additional income to possibly what you're already earning. So it's just another surplus money that you're earning alongside either something else. So yeah, that's what I would define a side hustle as.
And I think everyone listening and watching wants that, you know. I think there's always this thing that goes around. I think the number slightly changes all the time, but I think millionaires have something like 9 streams of income, right? So everyone's always thinking, if you've got your 9 to 5, that's one stream, but how do we build up additional streams? That's always a topic of conversation. Coming to you now, your first side hustle, when was it? What was it? Talk us through it.
So my first side hustle was when I was 14 years old, actually.
14?
14.
Look,
14
you're in younger. Give me a high five. Come on.
14 years old. I started grinding at 14. I actually got employed at the Salvation Army at the time, and then I started doing dance classes. So that's where my side hustle income was coming in. So I was literally like, anyone want to join dance school? Anyone want to join dance classes? And that's kind of like how we started, alongside with the help of my sister as well, who actually helped me grow it. But yeah, that was my first side hustle.
That's incredible. So at 14, you were ahead of the curve, earning income and showing people how to bust a move and bust a groove, because I need to enroll because I can't dance, save my life. But okay, so it started off with dance, and I'm sure you're a self-proclaimed side hustler. So talk us through the side hustles you've had over the years. So dance was the first one.
Are you ready?
I'm ready for the list. Let's go. Let's reel it out.
Do you know what? I'll try and say as many as I can, but if I can kind of just shorten it down. But I do hair, I do nails, I do stage management. I'm an event planner as well as freelancer. I do studio management. I also work with brands, so I do brand partnerships, so content creation, affiliate links. I use sites like CASHBACK. I also rent out my driveway. I also, what else? I do so many things. I do workshops. So obviously people book me. I do dance classes for external clients. I put routines together as well for anyone who wants to, I don't know, have a wedding and then like, hey, can you put a dance set together? I was also a backup dancer for Nadia Rose. So I was touring, done like Wireless Festival, Reading and Leeds. So I was doing that for a while as well. And I also worked part-time at JD Sports when I was at university. Yeah, that's just some of it.
I should have been keeping count, but you know what? I lost count after like the 5th one you said. We have definitely used free hands there for the number of side hustles that you reeled out just then. That is insane. So I think anyone listening and watching probably has a similar question to me. How on earth do you keep on top of all of those side hustles?
I don't.
That's the honest truth. That is the honest truth.
I don't. Honest to God, I sometimes just have to say no to certain things. Sometimes I try to figure out, either it could be what I'm trying to save for, so I kind of drive that energy towards that. Or it could be that I just have free time on my hands. I'm like, oh, why not? Let me take on an extra job. But I have to be very strategic and kind of look at my timetable and see what I can squeeze in. So the reason why I said I can't is because sometimes I think I get burnt out because I have so many side hustles. But ultimately, yeah, it's just looking at my time. What do I have time to do? And sometimes some of the side hustles don't actually require me to actually really do anything. It's just from affiliate links. So people are clicking on my link and, you know, we both get a little something. So, yeah.
That is insane. Okay, now give us some numbers.
Yeah.
Roughly how much do you reckon you make from your side hustle, whether that's a year or a month? Give us something to kind of put it in perspective.
So I'll probably say racking in from monthly it can range from about 2.5k to be fair to about 3, and depending on the brand partnerships as well, it could scale up a lot more to up to like 4k as well.
Right,
5K.
now we have to start talking, because 2.5k a month extra, even £500 a month extra is like whoa. So now talk us through some of your more lucrative side hustles and perhaps how you started them, because I mean you listed off a lot, like you know, you mentioned babysitting, you've worked stage management, you know, touring and all those things. Of course, not everyone's going to do some of the ones that you mentioned, but, you know, if someone wants to get in stage management, how on earth do you even begin that process?
To be fair, with me, my background's a little bit different because I went to university, studied events. So I got a degree in events. So I started kind of like picking out what the different roles are in events. So that's how I kind of got started. So my passion was events. So I started planning my own events, which I was doing anyway. But then after that, I realized that there's different branches into it. So you could get hired to like bring performances in. So I've had a job once before that I actually mentioned on my Instagram. I got commissioned 10 days worth of work to basically get a whole piece of dance program together. And yeah, I got paid like 1.8k just to do that.
Whoa, just to do that. It's like 10 days worth of work. But that's I guess you couldn't do that alongside a 9 to 5, could you? You'd have to.
The thing is, I was working as well at the time. I was working in TV and film at the time when I was doing that. But because I also kind of, because you're freelance time, like you have the time to do that. You can decide when you want to work. So some days, you know, on my break, I might just do a little work, or, you know, on the weekend, I'll do a bit of work. But I was actually working at that time as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk us through then perhaps some of the more abstract ones that you mentioned, like affiliates or cashback, for anyone who may not be aware, because we're trying to figure out, some people want to have an extra stream of income but don't want to spend too much time on it. I mean, for some people, the 9 to 5 is stressful enough. So the thought of having to go out and like dog walk, for example, is probably like some people say, oh, cringe. I couldn't even. For you, perhaps. You're very energetic and outgoing. But for some people, they're like, you know what? My 9 to 5 is already stressful. Perhaps I've got kids at home. Perhaps I've got other things that I'm working on, but I still want another stream of income. So let's talk about maybe some of the more online ones that you can do. So, you know, cashback, affiliates, and anything else that you've got.
Of course. So I'll probably say the easiest one is receipt apps. So I use that as well all the time. So if you're someone who loves shopping online, or just, you know, everyone shops, when you get a receipt, you scan it, and then those convert into points, which eventually mount up enough for you to be able to cash it out either via PayPal or Amazon vouchers. So that's super easy. Everyone shops all the time. So you can just scan that receipt and then you accumulate the points, and then eventually becomes money. So I've made probably about, I'll try to keep on top of it, I probably made about £50 from receipt.
That's good. Just from
receipt
shopping in general, scanning your receipt, and you get to collect points. What are some apps that you can use to do that?
So you can use ShopX, you can use Store Rewards, you can use Zip Zero. So all those apps are free to download as well. You literally just scan it, and you'll see the points mount up. Then you can eventually withdraw that as cash. And you mentioned about Top Cashback or any cashback sites. That essentially is you shop online and you get a percentage of your money back. So the only way it works is you need to have the app or use it via the site. You go in, you find a store that you want to purchase from, and there's like thousands of stores that you can pick from holidays to travel insurance to clothes to food, even Asda's on there. Like if you shop on Asda, you can literally go straight to Top Cashback, and it might say you get 3% back. So if you spend, you know, a certain amount of money, you get 3% back on that shop. That's easy. You're not doing
easy
anything.
Money.
It's easy money. You're just sitting at home, you know, quick little shop, and then you're just collating the points. Well, actually it's money. So Top Cashback is actually money. Then you can actually withdraw it. And another easy one, I'll probably say this is probably the easiest side hustle that anyone can start, has got to be affiliate, because everyone shops. And if you realize when you're shopping, you usually get a refer a friend kind of
some sort of bonus to encourage you to share it.
Yeah, a majority of shops do that, and some people don't actually realize. So it could be me and you, we're both shopping on an online store, why are we both shopping on an online store? I could literally refer you, then we both get something back. And I think that's the easiest way. So, you know, you could just kind of put it out there, like, family, friends, before you guys sign up to this, I've got a referral link. Next thing you know, you're all like,
everyone's
earning something.
enjoying.
Yeah, even if it's just an Amazon voucher, like, it's still something.
Do you know what my dad used to do? He used to sign up to bank accounts, right?
Yeah.
And then get me excited about it. This app does this and that. Like, for example, he had Monzo before Monzo was Monzo. So people don't realize the name Monzo is previously called Mondo. So he had Monzo when it's called Mondo. He had a Mondo card. And I remember him telling me, like, Kia, there's this new bank. It's going to revolutionize everything that we know. Honestly, Kia, get Mondo. And I was like, yeah. And to us, it seems normal now, right? You know, you kind of go on your online banking, you get notification when you spend. That at the time wasn't normal. We'd never had that. So Mondo were the first to do that. And I remember he said, Kia, look, you should get Mondo, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went to the app store like, okay, I'm going to download it. He said, no. Let me send you a link.
Yeah, let me send you a link.
He made his £5 off me quick.
Yes.
Me, my brother, everyone.
I did the same thing as well. Like, my friend actually referred me to the bank. So we both got a £5 and signed up. So that's easy money. Can you imagine if you referred over 30, 50 people?
Speaking of which, guys, if you want to sign up to Monzo, the link is down below on YouTube.
Use my link. Use my link
down below. No, but you're absolutely right. I think there's so many apps and places, and it's interesting that some people have an interesting view on affiliates, you know. What if you don't have a big circle of friends? You don't have people who'd be interested in it. What would you say? Because I always think, if I'm someone who perhaps my friends already have it, so let's just take Monzo, for example. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people already have Monzo accounts. Now, if you say, you know what, Monzo give out £5 every time you refer someone, I think it's both ways, I'm not sure. How do you get more people in? What would you do? I'm thinking of maybe forums. What would you do?
Yeah. Do you know what? There's actually loads of like Facebook groups and stuff out there where people share their codes all the time. Like, I've actually joined one as well for ink. So when you use someone else's, obviously they get something back and I get like free printing like for the next 6 months. So there's Facebook groups that you can use. Like, loads of people want codes. Loads of people want to save money as well and earn money. If you're someone who's brave enough to just post online in general, like as a content creator, and just say, hey guys, you know, there's that as well. Loads of content creators are doing it, to be fair. There's so many of them doing it.
All the time.
So there's that as well. If you're brave enough to go in front of the camera and do that.
And just tell people this is how it works. That does work as well. Or I think it's like the social proof. Like, you show people how things work and they're more inclined to download it. So I completely agree. Let's now look at a bit more of the nitty gritty when it comes to actually making the money. So we know that we have the lovely place that comes after us, whether you work full time or you're self-employed, is Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, HMRC.
HMRC.
You love them, you hate them, doesn't matter how you feel towards them, they're always going to be there. HMRC, right? So it sounds all well and good. You have made some good money, right? In side hustles. And I'm sure you've got a lot of people listening and watching wanting to get into their own side hustle. But what does that look like when it comes to perhaps declaring that income?
Yeah.
In your experience?
Yeah. So I realized that I'm not really like that experienced when it comes to taxes. So obviously I went to someone else, a third party organisation, to file my taxes for me. But when you earn £1,000, you don't actually need to declare that yet to HMRC with your side hustles. Once you make a profit of over £1,000, that's when you need to register yourself as self-employed and submit a self-assessment. So that obviously is then you declaring obviously to HMRC that I'm earning and, you know, my profit is over £1,000. So that's why it's really important to ensure that you have all your expenses, like from your invoices, your receipts, all your expenses in relation to your side hustle or to your business, so that, you know, it brings down as well, like, you know, how much your profit. So I think some people actually forget that. They think when they're selling on, like, for example, online, they're not actually declaring that actually that's an expense. Like, that's an expense. So that's not an income that you've earned. That's an expense to your business. So that will help you bring that down. So yeah, just for anyone listening, you need to remember that if you've earned £1,000, you don't actually need to declare that. Unless you've made over,
then you need to let HMRC know
that, listen, my side hustle's making money.
I'm taking it. Come on. Yeah. But I think that's a really valid point that you make, and it's really important. Even though it doesn't seem interesting, to make sure you're always on the government website. Like I always say, all of the things that we mentioned, especially when it comes to taxes, all of the information is on the gov.uk website. It's all there. And I believe it's called like the trader allowance. I think that's what they call it. It's up to £1,000. You don't have to declare it. And after that, so that's your trader allowance, essentially like your personal allowance. It's how much you can earn without letting us know and paying tax on it. Then everything after that, you have to pay tax on.
It's actually crazy. A lot of people don't actually know that as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important.
But if you are earning over, obviously that's when you kind of have to start putting some money aside in order to potentially pay for your taxes and stuff, or maybe some NI contributions as well. So yeah, just remember that if you are earning, or you know that, you know, my side hustle is making me money, then, you know, start putting money aside in order to potentially pay, you know, your NI contributions or your tax.
That's really helpful, and I completely agree with you. Let's talk about then someone who said, I want to start a side hustle. You've given loads of different suggestions, but I'm not sure how I pick what's right for me. So now if I talk about myself, growing up, I'm going to call myself a businesswoman. I never did before, but I'm a businesswoman, right?
You are.
I'm someone who I think I've said before, from 9 years old was my first ever business when I was 9. And I'm someone who, I've always been working. But aside from that, I've always had extra side hustles. So I've done like focus groups. So for anyone who doesn't know, focus groups is essentially where a brand or a company they have something that they're building, right? And they want you to give your opinion in exchange for some sort of reward, whether it's Amazon vouchers, whether it's cash, whatever that is, for an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time, right? And I've done many of those. I remember the first one I ever did. No, not the first one. The one I remember the most.
Is this your first side hustle?
I think I started doing surveys first. So like literally going online and doing surveys. At the time I was doing one for a website called YouPoll. Now it's called Atapol. But YouPoll, or was it YoungPoll? YoungPoll, because it was for under 18. So I was doing YoungPoll when I was younger, and then you go to Atapol when you're older. But I think they've gotten rid of YoungPoll. But then I moved to focus groups, and that was from my dad. My dad, that's the side hustle king. He's silent. He's silent about it, but it's side hustle king. And I was doing focus groups. I remember the one I remember the most was, BritBox?
No.
So it's like BBC iPlayer, it's like ITV Hub, but it's a combination of the two. And I think Channel 4 is a bit mixed up in there as well. So it's where you can pretty much watch any BBC and ITV show, whether the current or old. And I remember I got put into this focus group, and I went and applied and I got it. And it was for BritBox, but I didn't know it was for BritBox at the time. I remember they gave me like loads of sheets to have a look at it and decide like, do you like that colour or that colour? Do you prefer that layer or that layer? And give us the reason why. That's all I did for about an hour and a half, right? And I got paid something like £100 for it.
Let's go.
And that was brilliant. I went down to the BBC studios and I was doing all that, right? And that was great. I remember, I think I was doing like 19. So I'm at university and that was good extra money. I could do with £100. They just sent it to my account and I was like, this is great.
This is it,
right?
yeah.
But over the years, I've had many different side hustles. But it's always hard to figure out what is good for me and what isn't. So what would you say to someone? How should someone figure out or decide what side hustles they should start doing, what they should look into, and what they should start using to generate extra cash for themselves?
Yeah, I would probably say like start with your passion. I think that's the easiest way. Like during lockdown, apparently about 43% of Brits started a side hustle. They probably figured out a passion that they liked, whether it was baking, whether it was cooking, whether it was, I don't know, like cleaning. Like people started to figure out what their passions were. So I'll probably say start with that, because that's the easiest way for you to grow within your side hustle and actually enjoy it. And yeah, there was a lot of people at home like learning how to do it as well. Whether they weren't like proper like into it, they started to grow a love for it. So once you have that passion, that helps you it helps you kickstart some form of side hustle, I would say, whether it's even photography. I know a lot of people started doing photography during lockdown as well, whether it's video editing as well. So people started to grow their passion and kind of like figure out what they enjoyed. I'd probably say start there. That's the best way for you to kind of get a feel of whether you want to do this a bit more long term.
Speaking of lockdown, did you start learning anything? Because I know I definitely did. I was amongst that bandwagon of people who were learning coding. I said, I'm adamant, I'm picking up this new language today. I'm going to be a pro coder when we come out of this lockdown. And I started learning coding. Am I a pro? No. But it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
did you learn anything during lockdown?
Did I learn anything during lockdown? To be fair, I think during lockdown, I figured out that there was literally receipt apps, walking apps, stuff like that.
Walking apps is one that you told me. Talk about the walking apps. That's the one you told me about, and I've been walking for that money.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Walking apps.
There's a few out there where you can actually earn money just for walking, and obviously it's running in the background on your phone. So whenever you walk, you can collect points, and then you can eventually withdraw that again for money or vouchers. The one that's most popular at the moment is Sweatcoin. Like obviously a lot of people have heard about that. So that actually accumulates like loads of points. There's also opportunities for you to get bonus points as well. So that means that you're earning a lot more. And then you can actually use that to potentially pay for something, like buy, I don't know, AirPods, for example, or use that to just purchase something within the app. So it's just easy ways of making money. Literally, it's in your pocket, you walk, you collect the points, you earn the money. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I think that sounds amazing, but I know I can already hear some people who are listening. I can hear what they're saying. That one sounds too good to be true.
I know.
Making money for walking. I walk everywhere.
Listen, it doesn't happen overnight. It definitely takes some time for the points to accumulate. That's the same with the receipt apps. Like, it takes a bit of time, but if you stick at it, it's worth it in the end. It's free money that you didn't have before. So why not? Why not?
No, Elvie, come on. Any more gems? Any more apps that we need to know about to make some extra money? This is the walking one. I'm going to be honest. You put me onto that one. I said the amount of steps I've done.
Yeah, you love walking.
And I missed out on that money. But from now on, my steps have been calculated and I'm earning cash.
Let's
but
go.
any more apps that we should know about?
Definitely Top Cashback. If you're a shopper, listen, you got to be using Top Cashback. You're earning some money. I think I've made about £400 just from shopping online.
It's crazy. I think I use Top Cashback and Quidco. I think I've made more on Quidco.
Quidco, yeah.
Yeah, bear in mind, I've been using it for about 3 years, so mine's not like for like. I think I've made, I want to say near enough 2K on there, or just over 2K from Quidco, and that's all been withdrawn into my PayPal. Elvie, I'm following you, following your footsteps, following your footsteps. Sorry, carry on.
If you're someone who wants to rent out like driveways, like, just park, like easy peasy, list your space that is available. If you're a driver and you know you're going to be away for a bit, you can rent it out. You know, people are earning like over like £600 or so. Like, it's crazy, especially during lockdown. People are like figuring this out. And they're like, what? I can like, you know, earn extra money like just by renting out my driveway.
My dad started doing that now.
Really?
So he is very excited.
I feel like being dad on a podcast. Like,
he just started doing that because if you've been following anything, we are moving house. So we've got massive drive now, so it fits 3 cars.
Wow.
But not all 3 cars are always there, right? Mm-hmm. So he's been renting out our driveway. Sometimes he'll call me and say, Kia, we've got a booking, I'm going to move the car out, I'm going to put the car away so the car can go on. He's earning his money. And, you know, like you said, it just accumulates. If you've got that sitting there, we've got all the space.
This is it.
Why not just let someone rent our driveway?
100%. I'll probably say one more app that's pretty easy as well if you're a car owner, using like car share. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, you've got an affiliate link that you can share around with family and friends, but also like when you're listing your car out, like people who are looking to just, you know, if you're local, quick one, they just hire your car out.
There's a lot of people who would do that as well, because I think there's people who can drive but don't want to commit to a car. Yeah. So hiring out your car, and like especially if you've got like a nicer car, I know people are going to look and say, I want to hire out.
100%. If you've got a wedding or something that you need to go to, you want to quickly like borrow someone's car, like someone at home is earning money just because you
want it. They said, here's the keys. I'll take my money, thank you.
Exactly.
100%.
And why not? People are racking in thousands of pounds doing that, so why not?
Amazing. Right, before we round off, if you had to start a side hustle today, so all of the ones that you've done now, you don't do them anymore and you cannot do them anymore. If you had to start today, what side hustle would you do and why?
You know, the one side hustle that I've never done actually is dog walking.
So you'd walk dogs?
Yeah.
Really?
I'd walk dogs.
Are you a dog lover?
Yeah, I do love dogs actually.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'd fully walk dogs, 10 dogs. I don't know how much I'll be racking in, but
how would you find the people to walk their dogs? That's always a question.
I'll probably maybe just reach out, like, or even my neighbours who I know have dogs, like, hey, you looking for a dog walker? I'll probably have a little look whether I need a qualification or not. But I think that's a nice, easy one down your neighbourhood if you can. Like, yeah.
How much reckon you charge for that to walk a dog?
I'll probably say like, ooh, you have to value your time here.
Yeah, value your time.
Like, you got to value your time. I'll probably say maybe per dog, I'll probably charge like, could be like £20 an hour.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm
picking up poop. Why not?
You got to cover everything.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, if you've got 4 dogs with you, that's £80 an hour.
Yeah, let's go.
You know, you know, like in the movie, you've seen the movies when they got like so many dogs with them and they're being dragged around. But they're making money when you think about it.
They're making money.
They're making, do you know what? Drag me around. Drag me around. That's the kind of money I'm going to be making. Drag me. Elvie, it's been incredible. For anyone listening and watching, where can they find you? If they want to stay up to date with side hustles, whenever you find a new one they want to know, where can they find you?
You can find me at SaveWithElvs on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Elvie, thank you so much for gracing this podcast. Thank you again, guys, for listening and watching. We're back again next week with another amazing episode. Bye, guys.